Hi, I'm Erin Elizabeth Burns at E.E.B Studios. We're an online acting studio, and let's talk about voiceover. Kris Carr has another intro and advanced class starting soon, and the voiceover industry, despite the pandemic, was one of the few industries that was continuing to grow. You can use all the same acting skills that you have for self-tape auditions, but you don't have to deal with this. The hair, the makeup, all the things, right? So often you might not have to have a reader. You can just go into your voiceover booth, do the audition, send it off. But I want you to hear the benefits from Kris.
They liked my audition for something completely different, kept my demo, and then like 4 years later went, "Hey, Kris, we really liked you in this pharmaceutical ad. We keep pitching you. We finally have this banking group that wants to work with you."
Yeah.
And that's a job I do every month, and that's my guaranteed rent money job.
Mm-hmm.
So it just still has that hustle and drive to it. And there's also a lot of interesting avenues in voiceover for making money. You can go the commercial route. You can do video games. You can do animation. This is more of a SAG big time thing, right? If we're wanting those big juicy roles. Same with doing ADR dubbing. If you want to get in a loop group, those people who dub over people, it's usually a pretty tight knit group, but what a cool skill to have. And that's something people on Netflix are always looking for. If you speak multiple languages, that's a great route for you to go. Dubbing for all those different Netflix shows that they need to do in French and German and everything. There's audiobooks. If you have a lovely soothing voice and you like editing, that's something you can do from home and make some money off of that. You can go pharmaceutical commercials, you can go industrials. I mean, you can be the person who just does the dial one for this extension. There's so much stuff out there.
Even if you hit 4 out of the 8 or however many, it just with on camera, it's like there's commercials or there's film and TV. Of course,
Yep.
there's industrials and things like that. I mean, but for the most part, it just feels like there's just 2 tracks. But voiceover,
there is still this limitation, though. There's still your physical limitation. Again, with voiceover, there's so many different things you can do, and your voice is perfect for something. I follow Sarah Sherman on Twitter, and she's a casting associate for Disney for a lot of their stuff. And she one day did this great thread of just like, your voice is perfect for something. You don't have to be somebody who can do these wildly drastic character voices. That's awesome if you can do that. But they're looking for acting, they're looking for artistry, they're looking for perspective, which is one of the easiest ways for you to create different characters. Everyone has a different point of view, everyone speaks to people differently. I'm going to talk to you a different way than I'm going to talk to my mom. So you're always going to be able to find that kind of voiceover that suits you. I'm not an audiobook girl. I talk about this in class where that is not my thing. I don't want to listen to this for 12 hours, frankly. I never thought that this little piccolo was going to get me work, but here we are. But I have a niche for doing medical ads and voicing woodland creatures.
Yeah.
That's my shtick.
Yeah.
Everyone has one. And everyone I've worked with in voiceover has always just been super, super kind, just the most gregarious people.
Mm-hmm.
So in intro, it is just kind of this quick and dirty 4-week course. We go through PSAs, public service announcements, commercials, animation, and video games. A lot of what we talk about in these two is plussing your copy, kind of bringing us out of the uncanny valley and making us humans, connecting with your audience. So you aren't just a reader, you're speaking to a person. With PSAs and commercials, you're establishing trust. We don't want to buy some stuff from some shady person who sounds super creepy and disingenuous, I think the example I used in class last night was like, we were talking about Olay body wash. It was like, no one's going to use the voice and be like, Olay body wash, yeah, you want to come get some? No, that's gross and horrible. When it comes to animation, a lot of times we don't have any of the parameters. We're just given these random lines with no context. So we have to create context. And if you're a nerd like me, you get all D&D about it. It's theater of the mind. Okay, what's happening? How do I feel about this person? How is this happening? All the same stuff we do on camera. But you're doing it line by line with completely different context. So that casting director can see you do 6 lines and get that whole journey of your character. Same thing with video games. And we explore kind of different ones as well. I try to mix it up with a little bit of grounded military stuff, some really, really wild, bonkers stuff that we throw in there with really, really big energy, some cutesy little things thrown in there. How you work as a game guide, how you need to kind of drive the player to do things. Once we move on to advanced VO, this is more about finding your place in the professional world. So we continue exploring all these different avenues. We do some mobile video games to open it up, really exploring delivering two drastically different characters, finding those different takes. We move into custom commercials. You walk away from my class with at least 2 custom pieces of audio that you get to have.
So good.
I will write you some copy. You get to do whatever that you want with that. We talk about promos, how knowing the tone of a network or show is going to determine how you say something. This is a huge hack for your acting career in general. I'm going to act wildly different between Disney Channel and TNT. Those are not going to have the same Kris Carr. One might be a little schmactery. One's going to be more grounded. Same thing when we're doing this with promos and everything. I'm going to describe Sleepy Hollow differently than I'm going to describe Price is Right. We move into medical ads and how that's kind of a gray area for a lot of people. We talk about video games. We talk about animation, finding those custom characters, creating things based off of a drawing, really taking the animation as the inspiration for why you speak a certain way. We do a quick, dirty mocap coverage. It's focused a lot on creature creation. If you have fangs, if you have tusks, how are you going to talk? How does that change how you articulate? How does your physicality alter your voice and everything? And then the coolest thing we do is the last class, you get to pick what kind of audition you want. So in theory, you've been with me for at least 8 weeks, probably 12 if you've gone start to finish. So I know your voice pretty well. You know your voice very well. And you get to say, hey, Kris, I really want to do a sci-fi video game villain audition. Rad, let me write that up for you. And then we're going to go through that. You're going to send me a cover letter as if you're applying to me as your agent. You're going to send me your resume. And I'm going to review all of that for you too, so we can make sure when you do submit to agents, and we're going to kind of talk about how to go about that slightly, you look like a pro.
Kris is so passionate about teaching VO. You can probably get a sense of her energy and her passion just from that little interview. So let's fulfill all your dreams of playing all these crazy characters that maybe because of our look or what have you, we might not get those opportunities in our on-camera work. This can truly open so many doors for you to have a completely different income stream and have a whole lot of fun doing it in your acting career. I hope that's helpful for you. We'll see you in class.